Unit 3, Lesson 10, allows us to step back for a second and review some of the things we've been working on. Alright, and we're going to do a little bit extra today as we do these 4 examples that we have here. Okay, instead of just solving, we're going to actually write down what we're doing, and we're going to actually show all the check this time. Okay, and make sure we understand this idea. Alright, so what we're going to do first is just kind of list the steps in solving here. So step number 1, when we look at this problem, is to distribute. And that's going to look like this. We're going to multiply those two pieces together. That's going to be 2x minus 8. My equal sign should never move. And there's my 4x. Alright. Looking at the problem, step 2, I have to get the smaller variable to the larger one. I have to get my variables together. It really doesn't matter which one you move, but again, we like to move the smaller to the larger so that we have a positive variable. So that's 2x equal to negative 8. Step 3 in this problem now is we have to finish it by solving for x. So I'm going to divide both sides by negative 2, and we end up with x equaling negative 4. Okay? Now, I'm going to check my answer. Checking my answer, I'm going to take negative 4 and plug it in for x on the left side. So this is the left side first. I have 4 times negative 4, and that's negative 16. Now I'm going to check the right side, and that's going to be negative 4 minus 4. Parentheses always come first. That's negative 8, and that's negative 16. Those are the same. I know I did it correctly. Check your work. Let's move on to example 2. Again, looking at this, my first step in this problem again is to distribute. Alright, so when I do that, I'm distributing a negative 1 here. I end up with negative x plus 2, negative times negative is positive, plus 3x equals 6. Step number 2, oops, it's supposed to be purple, sorry. Step number 2 here is to collect like terms. Also part of simplifying, so I have negative x and 3x, that's 2x, plus 2 equals 6. Alright, now from here, I'm at a point where step 3, I could say I am going to start solving. I'll just say solve. So we subtract 2 from each side, I get 2x equal to 4, divide by 2, x is 2. Alright? And let's go ahead and do our check. You'll notice on this equation I don't have to check the right side, just the left side. So I'm going to plug in my 2 minus 2 plus 3 times 2. 2 minus 2 is 0. Don't put a negative with it. 3 times 2 is 6. 0 plus 6 is 6. 6 equals 6. That checks. I am correct. Alright, again, make sure you have all this work down. Alright, because without it, you're not getting credit on your homework. And also, it's going to be a great study guide because now you have the words explaining your steps as you go. Alright, looking at problem number 3. I got to erase this. I'm missing part of my problem here. There we go. Alright, up first, again, step number 1. We have distributive property again. So we're going to distribute. So that negative 6 is going to go there and there. So I have negative 24 plus 6x equals 12x. Alright, step number 2. We need to do smaller to larger. Remember, when variables are on opposite sides, we do opposite sign. So the 6 is smaller than the 12. The 6 is positive. The opposite of that is negative. So I subtract 6x from both sides. Alright, on my left-hand side, positive and negative 6x will cancel out. I get negative 24. And on this side, I have 6x. And then my third step, once again, is to solve. In this case, it's a one-step solving, so that's nice and easy. We end up with x equal to negative 4. Once again, I'm going to go ahead and check my work. Alright, there are variables on both sides, so I'm going to have a left side. which is going to look like this, negative 6, and then 4 minus negative 4. Minus a negative is really just a plus, so it's negative 6 times 8, which is negative 48. On my right-hand side, I'm going to plug negative 4 in and get negative 48. And these are the same. We check. There's my answer. Okay, last problem. Again, first step, as we saw in all these, we want to distribute. So I'm going to do this. That's going to be 6n minus 3 equal to 17 plus 2n. Alright, up next we're going to go smaller to larger. So 2 is the smaller one. Let me subtract 2n from both sides. That'll get me 4n minus 3 equal to 17. That'll cancel out. And then just like in all the other ones, our third step now is to solve. So I'm going to add 3 and divide by 20. If you're not sure why I'm adding 3 and dividing by 20, you should probably re-watch some of the earlier videos to make sure you get an idea of how to solve two-step equations, alright, or even a one-step equation. And we end up with n equaling 5. We're going to check that, and just like before, there's a left side and a right side. So on the left side, let's see, I'm going to shorten this up a little bit. Put my 5 in here. 2 times 5 is 10. 10 minus 1 is 9. 3 times 9 is 27. On the right-hand side, I have 17 plus 2 times 5 is 10. Add that together, 27. 27 equals 27. I'm right. And there you have it. So again, there's nothing new here. Alright, all of this has been reviewed. Alright, we did a little bit extra of writing. This is stuff that has been said before, but now you have it written down too, just in case you're still struggling. Alright, you'll notice part of today's homework, and this is unusual, so make sure you do this. Part of today's homework, because this is all review, is for you to do 2 completely on your own. So you need to have these 2 done when you come into class tomorrow if you want credit for your homework. Alright, I don't think I can make it any more obvious to you that you need to do this stuff right here. Alright, so make sure you have all of this done for class tomorrow. The entire 2 problems with your explanation and your work check. All done if you want credit for your homework tomorrow. This entire section is part of your homework. The whole thing I just highlighted right down here. Do as part of your homework. Even though it's not done in the video, it is review. You should be able to do it. Did I get it all yet? Here, there's some over here. I think you get the point, right? At least if you watched the video, you did. We'll see you tomorrow in class.